Yo, what's really going on in the game right now? Because the internet is buzzing like never before, and this time, it's not just another rap beef. It's a full-blown empire collapsing in real time. Drake and J. Cole, two names that once stood side by side like kings of the new school, are now caught in what fans are calling the empire of lies. And according to people close to the circle, the truth might destroy everything they've built together. Now listen, you didn't hear this from me, but insiders are whispering that something dark has been brewing behind the scenes for months. The collabs, the brotherly love, the photo ops, all a front to hide a power struggle that's been quietly ripping OVO and Dreamville apart. There's talk of secret recordings, shady business deals, even betrayal involving people they once called family. And the craziest part? Somebody from inside their camp might have just leaked everything. Fans are shocked, industry's divided, and social media is in chaos. One side's yelling, "Drizzy's done," while the other says Cole finally woke up. It's getting real messy, real fast, and the timeline receipts are not adding up. Some say Drake tried to silence J. Cole after a private disagreement turned into a public humiliation. Others say Cole was the one who flipped. He's tired of playing second fiddle to the so-called sixth god. Either way, what was once rap's most powerful alliance might now be its biggest downfall. And trust me, once you hear what went down backstage in that studio session and the alleged betrayal that followed, you're going to see these two in a whole different light. This isn't just beef. This is the crash out of an empire. All right, so check this out. It all started way before the cameras, before the headlines. Before anybody even thought something could ever go wrong between Drake and J. Cole. These two were supposed to be the last of a dying breed. Lyrical, humble, respected, untouchable. But every empire that shines bright eventually casts a shadow. And this one. It got darker than anyone could have imagined. People close to both camps said the tension didn't come overnight. It started subtle. Cole had just wrapped his tour, and Drake was deep in the middle of his own project, chasing streams, chasing numbers. Cole started noticing that certain things weren't adding up, like collab royalties that went missing. And people around Drake acting funny whenever Dreamville's name came up. Cole brushed it off at first, thinking it's industry noise. But then came that infamous studio night in Law, the one that everybody whispers about, but nobody, really talks on record, the story goes. Drake invited Cole to pull up to the OVO Mansion studio for what was supposed to be a casual session. Drinks, vibes, a couple beats playing in the background. But Cole wasn't smiling that night. Sources said he came with an agenda. Questions that had been eating at him for months. Allegedly, he looked Drake dead in the eyes and said, "Bro, why, every time we build something real, the numbers start acting like ghosts." Drake, smooth as ever, laughed it off, saying, "Man, you overthinking, you know how this game works." But Cole wasn't laughing. He pressed further, asking about a certain deal. Think involving a streaming bonus that was supposed to be split between both their teams, but somehow ended up redirected through OVO management. That's when things reportedly got tense. One of Drake's security guards stepped in closer. And Cole's engineer, who was with him, started recording quietly on his phone. And that recording, according to sources, is what later leaked to a few industry blogs that started the whole empire of lies #dot in the clip that allegedly leaked. You can hear Cole's voice, calm but heavy, saying, "You can't call me brother in public and short me in private." And then a pause. Drake's tone changes. He says, "You acting like I owe you something. I put you in front of the world, don't forget that." That line alone sent chills through fans once it hit social media. Because for years, everyone believed the two were equals, partners, not mentor and student. But those few words cracked the image completely. By morning, the video was everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, Clubhouse rooms, fans debating, dissecting, arguing. OVO fans claimed the clip was edited. Dreamville stans said it was 100% real. Cole went silent online. Drake posted an Instagram story that said, "Never bite the hand that fed you," followed by an owl emoji. And just like that, the internet exploded. But behind closed doors, it got worse. Insiders said Cole's team tried to reach out privately to settle things, but Drake wasn't responding to calls. OVO's inner circle started whispering that Cole was planning a truth tape, a project exposing the fake friendships and business games in the industry. At first, people thought it was just rumors. Then someone close to Dreamville tweeted, "The mask's about to fall." That's when everyone knew it was real. The industry was split down the middle. Kendrick's people started liking Cole's posts, subtly showing support. On the other side, Future, 21 Savage, and even Travis Scott were seen hanging around Drake more often. It became less about music and more about loyalty. Insiders said group chats between rappers were on fire. People choosing sides like it was a digital civil war. And it wasn't just artists. The fans were going crazy too. Reaction channels were dropping videos every hour, decoding lyrics, replaying the leaked clip frame by frame. One blogger said she got a DM from someone inside OVO, claiming Cole had been secretly jealous for years, feeling overshadowed by Drake's pop success. Another blog said Drake was the one insecure, feeling threatened by Cole's authenticity. But the real twist came a week later. Cole's brother, Zach, went live on Instagram, visibly frustrated. He said, "People don't know half of what's been going on. My brother tried to keep things respectful, but certain folks took advantage of that." And right as he said that, the live mysteriously ended. Within minutes, his account was disabled. Fans started posting screenshots, screaming cover up. Now, here's where it gets wild. A few days after that, Drake's unreleased track called Mirror Talk leaked online. On the track, Drake raps, "They say he conscious, but he ain't clear. Preaching truth while whispering fear. I gave him the platform, gave him the gear. Now he acting like the crown was his idea." Fans immediately knew who it was about. Cole's name wasn't mentioned, but the timing, the lyrics, it all lined up too perfectly. Cole's silence became louder by the day. The blog said he was planning a direct response, something poetic but cutting. People expected a diss record, but insiders said it wasn't just about music anymore. It was about principle. He felt betrayed not just as a friend, but as a man, and as all this chaos unfolded online. One mysterious tweet appeared from an anonymous account. "Check the contracts. Empire built on numbers that don't exist." That one tweet changed everything. Suddenly, the focus shifted from emotions to money. Reports came out suggesting that joint royalties between OVO and Dreamville collaborations had been manipulated to favor one side. And while no official documents surfaced, people started connecting dots. Drake's accountants went on silent lockdown. Dreamville's manager was spotted meeting with lawyers in Atlanta. It was no longer rumors. This was a full-on fallout with money, pride, and reputation on the line. As fans argued, both camps tried to control the damage, deleting tweets, posting vague quotes about growth and forgiveness. But by that point, it was too late. The mask had slipped, the cracks were showing. And the empire they built on friendship, mutual respect, and public image was now being ripped apart by whispers, leaks, and greed. And just when people thought it couldn't get any deeper, another video surfaced. This time not just audio, but full visual footage from that same night at the OVO mansion. Cole's face serious, Drake pacing back and forth, tension thick like smoke. The clip ended before anything physical happened, but it was enough to send the internet into full meltdown mode. Fans screaming, "It's over," others begging for reconciliation. But for those who knew how these things go, the damage was done. The story didn't slow down after that video hit the internet, it actually got crazier. Within hours, the hashtags were everywhere. Hashtag Empire of Lies, hashtag Cole vs. Drake, hashtag OVO exposed. The industry couldn't look away. The video wasn't just another leak. It was proof that the friendship everyone thought was bulletproof had officially cracked open. Cole's team stayed quiet for 3 whole days. And that silence had people losing their minds. Dreamville fans were demanding answers. OVO fans were dropping snake emojis under Cole's posts. And every blog from, say, Cheese to Hollywood Unlocked had their own exclusive sources. But what none of them knew was that while the world argued online, Cole had gone completely off the grid. Insiders said he flew out to Ghana, where he's been known to find peace and right. He wasn't hiding, he was planning. Meanwhile, Drake was moving different too. He canceled 2 appearances, stayed off Instagram Live. And word on the street was that he was in Toronto having crisis talks with his business manager. A source who claimed to be close to OVO said Drake was furious that the leak made him look like the bad guy. Supposedly, he told his team, "I built this empire with my own hands, and I won't let him tear it down with one clip. I won't let him tear it down with one clip." But see, the internet wasn't buying the damage control. More and more people started digging, pulling up old interviews where Cole mentioned trust issues in the industry, side-eyeing Drake's lyrics from years ago. One user even compiled a whole timeline showing how their friendship slowly turned cold after the Jadichi freestyle. Every time they were seen together after that, it looked less natural, more forced. And then, the real bomb dropped. Screenshots. A small but verified hip-hop journalist posted alleged screenshots from a group chat that included people from both camps. In the messages, someone saved as OVO Trey says, "Drizzy told me to keep Cole out the numbers talk. He don't understand the business side." Another message from Dream Cole MGR replies, "That's exactly why he don't trust them anymore." Fans went wild. It was like proof that everything Cole had been hinting at for years was true. Backdoor deals, unfair splits, manipulation. Drake's lawyer tried to shut it down, calling it fabricated nonsense, but by then, the damage was done. Cole's name was trending worldwide, and even though he hadn't spoken yet, the public was already painting him as the betrayed friend, the underdog, who finally got tired of smiling through disrespect. Then came the festival incident. The two were both booked to headline the same European festival. Fans prayed they'd make peace on stage, maybe even perform first-person shooter together. But instead, the opposite happened. Cole arrived early, did his set, thanked the crowd, and walked off stage. 30 minutes later, Drake's team requested the organizers to remove all joint branding from the LED screens. They replaced every image of Cole and Drake side by side with Drake's solo promo video. People in the audience noticed and started chanting "Dreamville, Dreamville." Halfway through Drake's set, he paused the music and said, "I see y'all trying to pick sides, but don't forget who put the city on." That line hit like a nuke. Fans booed. Others screamed "Cold World." And just like that, the festival turned into a battleground. Security had to escort Drake out the back when bottles started flying toward the stage. Clips went viral, fans analyzing every expression on his face, claiming they saw guilt, anger, pride, whatever they wanted to believe. While all that chaos unfolded, Cole was back home, and according to one insider, he was finishing a response. Not a diss track, but something more personal, a spoken word style piece called Empire's Fall. People close to him said it was like an open letter, confronting not just Drake, but the entire system that rewards image over integrity. But here's the part nobody expected before Cole could release it. Someone from Drake's side leaked a private voice note of Cole venting to a mutual friend. In the audio, you can hear Cole saying, "I was loyal to a fault. I thought we were building something real, but he treated me like a feature, not a brother." The internet erupted. Some fans cried, others said Cole was too emotional. And OVO supporters accused him of playing victim. But Drake wasn't staying quiet either. A week later, he dropped a snippet on Instagram stories. Just him in the studio with a caption that read, "They always fall when they start believing their own legend." That alone set the internet ablaze again. People assumed it was a diss, and suddenly, Tag Empire's Fall and hashtag Legend Talk were trending side by side. The blog started claiming there was more to the story. A supposed ex-OVO staffer did a tell-all interview, saying there was a hidden deal between Drake and a streaming company that funneled millions in bonus payouts through shell accounts. Cole allegedly found out when one of his accountants noticed irregularities. When he confronted Drake, A friendship turned into business, and business turned into betrayal. And then came one of the darkest twists yet. A leaked internal email from a music distributor hinted that one of their tracks had fake stream inflation, meaning bots had been used to boost numbers. The email mentioned OVO control and partner clearance pending. Now there was no proof that either artist personally knew about it. But fans immediately jumped to conclusions. Social media was wild. Memes, threads, think pieces. Even conspiracy theories saying the empire of lies wasn't just about friendship, but about an entire hidden system of manipulation behind the biggest names in hip-hop. People were digging up every business connection, every investment, every brand team. And at the center of it all were two names, Drake and J. Cole. But just as people thought they'd seen everything, another twist hit. A mysterious account on X posted a blurred image of what looked like a legal notice. Allegedly, Cole's team preparing to file for financial review of past projects. The post went viral instantly. The caption simply read, "He warned him. Now it's time." Fans went insane. Was Cole really taking Drake to court? Was this the end of OVO x Dreamville forever? Drake went live later that night, sippingwine.com as ever. He said they love when they see kings fighting because they can't handle peace. He laughed it off like nothing was wrong, but his eyes said something else. A mix of frustration and fear. Believe ended abruptly after he read a comment that said, "Cole, about to end your empire." Meanwhile, Dreamville's socials suddenly blacked out. Every post wiped clean. Only one story left up a black screen with white letters reading, "Truth doesn't need promotion." That one post got over 10 million views in 24 hours. Fans flooded the comments, begging Cole to drop the project. Even celebs started picking sides. Kendrick liked the story, while 21 Savage posted a cryptic message saying, "Some people build kingdoms, others build illusions." By now, everyone was asking the same question. If the empire was built on lies, who was lying more? Drake, the mogul with everything to lose, or Cole, the poet with everything to prove? And that's exactly where the tension peaked. Both sides silent, both fan bases restless, and both camps preparing for something. People close to the situation said Cole's empire's fall wasn't just a song, it was a movement. And Drake, he had a surprise of his own, because the night before Cole was set to drop, rumors began spreading that Drake was planning a press conference. Not a song, not a post, a full-on televised statement to clear the air. Nobody knew what he was going to say, but insiders swore he had receipts too. The world was locked in. Every phone screen, every live stream alert, every hip-hop blog, all waiting for whatever was about to happen next. After weeks of silence and rumors, both Drake and J. Cole were on the verge of speaking. And everyone knew the next 24 hours could change everything. You could feel the tension in the air like electricity before a storm. Drake moved first. He announced on Instagram that he would go live that night to set the record straight. The caption said, "No filters, no edits, just the truth." Fans flooded the comments. OVO supporters celebrating, Dreamville fans skeptical. Drake's live had over 2 million people waiting before it even started. The moment the screen lit up, it was just him sitting in his Toronto mansion. Dim lights, glass of champagne, and that calm, almost relaxed energy that he always had when chaos was surrounding him. He started slow, talking about how the internet twists things, how friendship and business don't always mix, how people love to watch brothers fall. Then he leaned in, voice low, saying, "I see people throwing my name around like I'm some villain. I'm not that. I'm just a man who built something with love and watched it get poisoned by envy." He never said Cole's name directly, but the message was clear. Then, in the most shocking twist, Drake pulled out his phone and played a voice memo. He said this was the last thing Cole sent me before he cut me off. The audio played, and it was Cole's voice, calm but heavy, saying, "This ain't about money, it's about what you represent. You forgot what we started." Drake let the message play, looked up at the camera, and said, "I didn't forget." He did. The internet went nuclear. People were divided like never before. One side saying Drake was manipulating the situation, playing victim. The other saying Cole got too emotional, couldn't handle the pressure of the spotlight. Reactions poured in from everywhere. Lil Durk tweeted, "That's some deep pain." Shaw posted, "When love turns into leverage." Even LeBron dropped a story with a thinking emoji and the caption, "This one hurt." But what nobody knew was that while Drake was live, Cole's team was in the final stages of uploading Empire's Fall to YouTube. As Drake's live ended, notifications went off around the world. New upload from Dreamville. Video was simple, black and white. Cole sitting in a small studio, mic in front of him, no beat, just spoken word. He started by saying, "We built castles in the air, but forgot the ground we stood on." The words hit hard, each line filled with quiet fury. He never named Drake, but every sentence felt like a direct shot. "Some men count blessings, some count streams. I counted trust until I ran out." The internet was in shambles. Within an hour, the video had over 5 million views. Fans were crying in the comments saying it felt like watching a friendship die in real time. But it wasn't just words. Cole ended the video with something unexpected. He played a distorted audio clip, barely audible, but fans caught a few words. The numbers were never real. And then the screen faded to black. That one line broke the internet again. People started pulling up receipts, dissecting chart data, analyzing Spotify numbers. Was Cole implying that OVO's success had been inflated? Was he confirming the fake streams rumor? Drake's camp immediately went into damage control mode. Within hours, OVO posted a statement calling the accusation baseless slander. But the tone of their message only made things worse. It sounded defensive, panicked. Then a hacker group popped up claiming they had access to confidential data showing stream manipulation connected to major labels. They tagged both Drake and Cole in the post. Nobody knew if it was real or trolling, but fans ate it up. And then something strange happened. A screenshot started circulating, supposedly from an internal OVO group chat. One of Drake's close producers allegedly wrote, "We told him to stop digging. He didn't listen." That one message sent people into a frenzy. Was it real? Was someone inside OVO turning against Drake? Meanwhile, Cole disappeared again. No posts, no tweets, no statements. Dreamville artists like Bus and J.I.D started posting cryptic messages. Bus wrote, "Truth, don't scream. It echoes." Ari Lennox reposted it with a broken heart emoji. You could tell the whole label was standing behind Cole. OVO, on the other hand, was going quiet. Normally, Drake would flood timelines with memes or jokes. But this time, nothing. Just silence. Then, out of nowhere, an old friend of both rappers, a famous producer, went live. He said, "Man, y'all don't even know the half of it. This ain't even about streams or money no more. It's about loyalty." Cole found out something that broke his heart. He paused, like he wasn't sure if he should continue, then added, "Let's just say, when you find out your brother been using your name to clean his own mess, it hits different." Before he could explain, the live cutoff. Fans lost their minds. Everyone was trying to figure out what he meant by clean his own mess. Some said Drake had used Cole's name to secure deals or to deflect criticism after controversies. Others believed it had to do with charity donations, projects that were supposed to be joint efforts but were allegedly funded differently behind the scenes, and as if the universe was feeding the drama. A mysterious document leaked on Reddit. It looked like a partnership agreement between Dreamville and OVO, signed years ago, listing shared ownership percentages in certain collaborations. Except one section was redacted, the section that determined profit splits. Fans zoomed in, analyzed signatures, even called handwriting experts online. If the document was real, it meant Cole had been right. The empire really was built on unequal ground. By now, the whole world was watching. Even non-hip-hop fans tuned in. CNN ran a headline, Rap's biggest friendship collapses under scandal. Talk shows debated it. Business analysts on YouTube started breaking down the OVO model. And through it all, Cole remained silent, like a man watching a fire he didn't start but refused to put out. Drake, though? He wasn't done. He came back online 3 days later with a short video. No words, just visuals. Him sitting on a throne in an empty room, staring at the camera. Then standing up and walking away as the chair slowly burned behind him. No caption. No explanation. That single video became the most viewed Instagram post of the month. Fans called it the fall of a king. Others said it was symbolic rebirth. But behind all the theatrics, both camps were preparing for something much bigger. The truth. Insiders said Cole had documents, proof of every discrepancy, every lie. Drake had his own arsenal too. Text messages, emails, recordings. And the worst part? Neither of them planned to back down as the days went by. The tension turned into anticipation. Fans began predicting an all-out musical war, diss tracks, exposes, maybe even lawsuits. The label execs were nervous. A source claimed that Universal had stepped in privately, trying to negotiate peace before things spiraled out of control. They're not just to rappers, the source said. They're brands, corporations. If they go to war, everybody loses money. But the streets didn't care about corporate peace. They wanted blood. They wanted closure. They wanted to see who was lying. And according to a close Dreamville associate, Cole was done holding back. The empire's already cracked, he said. Next, it's gonna crumble. It was a Friday night when everything finally started to unravel. People had been waiting weeks, restless, checking timelines like addicts waiting for their next fix. OVO's silence had turned eerie. Dreamville's cryptic posts had gone darker. And every fan could feel it. The storm was about to hit. And when it did, it wasn't a diss track. It wasn't a leak. It was something bigger, a journalist from a well-known. Hip Hop magazine dropped a full-length investigative piece titled The Empire of Lies. Within minutes of it going live, it broke the internet. The article claimed to have obtained confidential documents linking OVO's accounting to manipulated digital streaming numbers. Fake sponsorship filings. And the headline, shocker. Misappropriation of collaborative royalties involving major artists. Cole's name was mentioned directly, as one of the artists whose percentages didn't match public agreements. The article was long, detailed, and messy. It described private board meetings, secret emails between label lawyers, and even mentioned a handshake deal gone wrong between Drake and Cole that was never legally documented. According to the source, Cole had kept quiet for years because he didn't want to destroy the friendship. But the more he tried to fix it, the more buried truths he found. Drake's camp was blindsided. Within hours, OVO's official Twitter posted fabrication and defamation at its finest. But fans weren't buying it. Screenshots from the article were being shared everywhere. TikTok, X, Instagram Reels. People made side-by-side breakdowns comparing streaming data. And for the first time, even neutral fans started saying, maybe Cole wasn't crazy after all. And then the most unexpected thing happened. Kendrick Lamar broke his silence. During a surprise appearance at a Los Angeles event, someone shouted from the crowd, "Whose side you on?" Kendrick smiled and said, "I'm on the side of the truth." It was short, but it was enough to shake the industry. Drake and Kendrick's quiet rivalry had always been rumored, so his comment instantly fueled speculation that Cole and Kendrick had secretly made amends and were. Now united against Drake, social media went feral. People started calling it the Three Kings Civil War. Conspiracy videos popped up suggesting that the fallout was part of a bigger movement. Artists turning against industry control, contracts, and fake numbers. Cole's fans began using the phrase real rap revolution. OVO fans fired back with loyalty over lies. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Then came the live stream that nobody expected. A well-known hacker collective claimed they had accessed unreleased data and planned to stream it live. The title of the stream, The Empire Burns Tonight. Millions tuned in. The screen went black. Then lines of code flashed across before audio files started playing, snippets of unreleased OVO voice notes, label emails, and most shockingly, what sounded like Drake's manager discussing payouts for digital boosting. Within minutes, the stream was taken down, but by then, thousands had already clipped and reposted it. Drake's team scrambled. Lawyers started sending takedowns. Instagram wiped mentions. But the damage was irreversible. Every time one post disappeared, 5 more popped up. Dreamville fans were celebrating, claiming it was divine justice. OVO defenders said it was deepfake technology. But even those who wanted to believe Drake couldn't ignore the coincidence, everything Cole had said. Everything he implied was now making sense. Cole reappeared online the next morning. He posted one photo, a shattered glass crown on the floor, captioned, "Truth always wins." It got 20 million likes in 12 hours. Number-long caption, no rant, just symbolism. And that silence hit harder than any diss track could. But Drake wasn't done yet. That same night, he dropped a surprise videomessage.com and polished like a press conference. "This industry was built on illusions," he said, "and I played my part in it. I'm not proud of everything I've done, but I never betrayed my people." He paused, eyes heavy. If Cole thinks this was personal, he's mistaken. This was survival. This was the first time he admitted there was truth to some of the claims, but his tone made it clear he wasn't apologizing. He was rationalizing. The internet was torn apart again. Some fans said it was mature and honest, others said it was manipulative. Another attempt to shift blame. Analysts called it the smoothest damage control move in hip-hop history. Meanwhile, Cole wasn't speaking, but he didn't need to. Dreamville artists kept dropping cryptic lyrics about lies in designer suits and fake love in champagne rooms. One by one, more rappers started echoing Cole's stance. Even some OVO affiliates started liking Cole's posts quietly, which only fueled more speculation that people inside Drake's circle were losing faith. Then, out of nowhere, an anonymous email was sent to multiple media outlets containing an unreleased document allegedly titled OVO Restructuring Plan. The document outlined how Drake planned to dissolve certain partnerships and rebuild under a new label entity. Buried inside the text was a single line that said, "Terminate collaborative royalty contracts with Dreamville." Fans zoomed in and freaked out. Was Drake cutting all ties officially? Doubt. Was Drake cutting all ties officially? And just when everyone thought it couldn't go any deeper, a clip leaked from Cole's private listening session in Raleigh. In the snippet, Cole says, "He taught me how to hide pain behind luxury. I taught him how to feel. Both lessons came with a price." The room erupted in cheers. Within an hour, the quote was everywhere, on shirts, on TikTok edits, even graffitied on walls in Toronto. It became the defining line of the entire saga. From that point on, it stopped being about who won. It became a cultural moment. People debated ethics in art, authenticity in fame, and the cost of loyalty. Podcasts broke it down like philosophy. One clip of a fan saying, "This ain't a beef, this is a breakup," went viral for days. Labels were panicking quietly. Insiders said executives were terrified that more artists might follow Cole's lead, demanding financial transparency. Drake's reputation as the golden boy of music was bruised. Maybe not destroyed, but no longer spotless. And Cole, he was suddenly the voice of truth, a reluctant hero in a story he never wanted to tell. Weeks later, both of them vanished again. No music, no interviews, no public sightings. Just silence. People speculated they had met privately, maybe even tried to reconcile, but no one could confirm it. Some said they were both working on new albums that would address everything from their own perspectives. Others believed the damage was too deep. Then, months after the chaos, one more leak surfaced. This time, a studio photo. 2 chairs, 2 mics, 1 light on. Blurred figures sitting across from each other. The caption on the post, "Rebirth or Revenge." No one could tell if it was real or staged, but it sent shockwaves again. Could they be collaborating? Or was this one last confrontation? Nobody knew. And maybe that's how it was supposed to be. Because in the end, the empire didn't explode, it eroded. Little by little, trust turned into tension, friendship into business, and love into legacy. Both men stood on the ashes of what they built, each holding their own version of the truth. Fans still argue to this day. Some say Cole was the conscience. Others say Drake was the realist. But everyone agrees on one thing. The Empire of Lies changed the game forever. It exposed what really happens behind the cameras, behind the contracts, behind the smiles. It showed that even kings can crumble when the crown gets too heavy. And as the dust settled, one quote from Cole's Empire's Fall echoed across the internet again and again. "You can build kingdoms with gold, but only truth makes it last." And that was it. The final word in a saga that started as friendship turned into betrayal and ended as legend. Because the empire didn't just fall. It taught the world how fragile power really is. And that's where it all stands right now. The empire in ruins. The truth still echoing through the industry, and millions of fans left wondering what's next. Drake and J. Cole, once brothers in rhyme, now symbols of two sides of the same coin. Power and principle. The internet can't stop replaying every clip, every lyric, every rumor. Did Drake really build an illusion? Did Cole really walk away clean? Or was it all just another chapter in hip-hop's biggest mind game? What happens next could change everything. Maybe there's still a chance for redemption. Maybe those two chairs in that leaked photo mean something more. Maybe the story isn't over. Or maybe this really was the final curtain on an empire that flew too close to the sun. One thing's for sure, the streets will be watching. The fans will keep digging. And the truth will keep surfacing in pieces until somebody finally says it all. But now, it's your turn to weigh in. Who do you believe? Who do you think was lying? Was it business, betrayal, or both? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what side you're on. Hit that like button if you've been following this wild ride from the start. And don't forget to subscribe because this story is still unfolding and you already know. When the next chapter drops, we're going to break it down right here. Piece by piece. This is more than just rap. This is legacy, loyalty, and the price of truth. So stay locked in, stay tuned, and remember, in a world built on lies, the real ones don't shout, they stand tall in the silence. See y'all in the next one.